So I received a lot of questions about goal setting since I posted my last video. So I wanted to address some of those things. First, yesterday on my Facebook page, Maximize Your Life, I shared a video by Grant Cardone called The Number One Rule for Success. I'm bringing this up because in his video, he talks about how the number one rule for success really is showing up. And I wanted to incorporate in this video because goal setting really does help you show up. They help you plan for success and help you be able to reach where you really want to be. There's a couple of different kinds of goals that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about long-term goals, excuse me, and short-term goals. We're going to talk about long-term goals first because it's really important that you know what your long-term goals are so that you can create and set your short-term goals. Long-term goals range between 3, 5, 10 years, and sometimes even longer, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. They include finances, personal, career, spiritual, and any other area of your life that you want to focus on. They may include specific goals about your relationship as well. So you really need to know what you want to accomplish in the long range to be able to set your long-term goals. Long-term goals set you up for success in the long range. How many of you have realized that the last 5, 10, 15 years of your life have just gone by and you don't feel like you've accomplished or achieved anything? This is because you're not following your long-term goals or you don't have them written down. It's very important to write them down so that you can track your progress. Long-term goals are also really the only way that you can set your short-term goals. Short-term goals help break down your long-term goals into more manageable pieces and more of a step-by-step process to help you be able to make daily actions to reach those long-term goals that you have in mind. Long-term goals are kind of like a blueprint for your life or like a roadmap if they're coupled with your short-term goals. All right, so that's kind of an overview of long-term goals. It's really going to be up to you to fill in the rest of the details. Let's talk about short-term goals now. Short-term goals are really important for setting you up for success with your long-term goals. It requires daily actions, if not weekly actions. Sometimes you can accomplish activities for throughout the week that will help you reach those long-term goals. But if you're setting daily goals and assignments or blocks of time on your schedule to help you reach those long-term goals through your short-term goals, you really are going to be more productive. You're going to be better with your time management, and you're going to reach those goals when you get to the end of your long-range time frame, whatever that is. Short-term goals typically range between 6 months, 1 year, and 3 years. By each of these points, you should have accomplished your short-term goals. Short-term goals really are a short range. You can even have shorter periods of time, but typically these are the time frames that you'll have those short-term goals set for. Short-term goals will, like I mentioned earlier, help you break down your long-term goals. What do you need to do in the next 6 months, 1 year, and 3 years to be able to accomplish your short-term goals or your long-term goals? What do you need to do every day to help support those long-term goals? Short-term goals are also very detail-oriented and include as much information as possible. This helps you be able to daily take those activities and break them down. So I'm going to reference my last video about setting SMART goals. In that video, it explained each of the different types of categories under that SMART acronym. If you want to refer to that video, you'll be able to know what that SMART acronym stands for. But it's the most beneficial when you set those daily activities. That last video, setting SMART goals, I use an example of exercising. If you go from not exercising at all to incorporating an exercising routine, you're going to want to indicate what days you're going to exercise, right? So as you set those goals, for example, making our goal as detailed as possible, I want to exercise Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. What are you going to be exercising those days? You can designate those goals as upper body, lower body, abdominals, or other areas that you want to exercise. Maybe you want to go for a jog. All those are totally fine. You need to be specific though. On Tuesday, for example, if you're setting a detailed goal, you might indicate upper body and then outline the exercise you want to do. Maybe for your upper body, you want to do 25 push-ups. Maybe you want to do some chest presses. Maybe you want to do a lat pull or something like that. But you want to really indicate what exercise you want to do and how many repetitions you want to have in there. These are all really important when we're talking about short-term goals. The more detailed you are, the more productive you're going to be, and the more effective you're going to be at reaching those long-term goals. Here's some tips for success with setting goals. Just as a reminder, be as specific as possible. Always track your progress. Tracking your progress is so important because you may need to adjust your short-term goals, or you may need to do more activities in your short-term goals to be able to reach your long-term goals. Review your goals for progress, if not weekly, daily. Daily will help you make sure that you're setting those targets for success every single day. And always be conscious of your time and time management. I'm going to be creating a video about time management a little bit later. Just to leave you with a thought, Ben Franklin said, "By failing to plan, you are planning to fail." Until next time, happy goal planning